Croc hikes. Croc here, and this is a gear video coming to you from the Super 8 Motel in Daleville, Virginia. And tomorrow morning I'll get picked up by a shuttle driver, and I'll be shuttled 62 miles away from here approximately, where I will begin a section hike of the Appalachian Trail from somewhere around Pearisburg, Virginia over to Daleville, somewhere around 8 days on the trail with a resupply and hopefully a stay at the Four Pines Hostel close to Catawba. So this is a pretty exciting time. This will be the most time I've spent on the Appalachian Trail, and I thought while I was here in the hotel getting all my stuff together, I would go ahead and do a quick gear video to let everybody know what I'm taking on the trail. So here we go. Okay, let's start quickly with the big four. We're gonna, as usual, on anything more than 3 or 4 days, I like to take the Zpacks Arc Blast 52 liter. I've had it for almost 2 years now. I use a couple of hip belt pockets and a shoulder pocket for my phone or some water and so forth. The typical hanging of the bandana and the Purell, and I've got a Leatherman CS knife ready to go for whatever I might need. I like to line my pack, even though the Zpacks is made of the Dyneema composite fiber, but I like to line the pack for the stuff I absolutely don't want to get wet with a trash bag. I've used compactor bags before, but a lot of times you can't find the ones without a scent, and I'd rather not have the pack smell like anything, even fresh soap. So I'll just cut down a heavier duty contractor bag and roll all the stuff in there that needs protecting. Over here I have my Feathered Friends 40 degree sleeping parka. It's one of the kinds that only comes up to the neck, so I'll wear a puffy with it when I sleep and so forth. It's 40 degree, but a 25 degree foot box, so that works pretty nice. When it gets down a little bit colder, I can usually stay warm in my core, but my feet get a little bit cold, so that helps. Here's the Zpacks Duplex. I use 8 shepherd's hook stakes with it. It's been my go-to tent for a long time. I only have one other tent, but nothing compares to the Zpacks equipment that I carry on most of my hikes. I'm taking a Tyvek ground sheet. I normally wouldn't do that, but there'll be a fair amount of shelter sleeping on the Appalachian Trail, and I don't like to lay my sleeping pad down on just the wooden part of the shelter, so I'll sacrifice the 6 ounces or so and take the Tyvek ground sheet. I'm using the Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. It's the 72 inch, so it's a little taller than some. I like to have the extra room at the foot. I take 2 camp pillows. They're only about 3 or 4 ounces for the Cedar Summit Arrows, and the other one is just a smaller one. I like to sleep with something when I'm sleeping on my side. I like to sleep with a pillow between my legs and my knees for comfort. It's a very, very small luxury item. Then with the, so that takes care of a sleeping bag, a sleep system, and my backpack and my shelter. Let's go to, while I'm up here, I'll talk about the Thermarest Z-Seat. It's always nice to have something to sit on, keep yourself a little more comfortable on the trail. And then I have a little 2x2 foot plastic sheet that I keep folded up in squares, and I take with me to spread stuff out when I'm cooking and things like that, to keep everything fairly neat and somewhat clean. Also in my shelter system, I have a couple of small lights. They're very, very lightweight, depending on how much light I want in the tent for whatever reason. The Gatorade bottle, empty bottle with a sort of a wider mouth. I don't have to tell you folks what that's for when you're a guy in a tent and you don't want to get out at night. My water system. I've got the Knock Outdoors 2 liter reservoir bag in case I want to haul some water up to a higher elevation to cook at night and do coffee in the morning. I don't know how much I'll use that. I'll have 2 smart water bottles, 2 liters with the sports tops you see right there. I also have a Sawyer Mini that I keep for reserve, and a Catadine Be-Free 1 liter self-filtered system. So I've got plenty of redundancy in water. The last thing I want to do is to run out of a water system, or to have one mess up on me on the trail. That cost me a few ounces, no big deal. I've got a bag that has some fire starting stuff, some dryer lint and so forth, a map that I'm going to tear a section out of and take on the trail. Over here I have a pair of Oakley sunglasses. I normally wouldn't take an expensive pair of glasses on the trail, but these already have a couple of small scratches on them, so I'm just going to designate them as my go-to trail glasses. There's some foldable readers that I use when I need to read the map or look at my iPhone 8S for my other navigation stuff. I haven't decided if I'm going to take the GoPro or not on this trip. It's here ready to go if I decide to. Otherwise, I do most of my filming on the iPhone 8S, which I have now, and I use Splice to edit videos on the trail, so I don't have to wait till I get home or to do a lot of work on the computer. Here's an electronics ditty bag with the Black Diamond Spot headlamp and some extra batteries. I've got an extra bandana as well as a Qualcomm 3.0 charger and the cables, and I've got an Anchor 20,000 milliamp 11 ounce power bank. They're both Qualcomm 3.0, so I can charge the power bank in about 5 hours. I can charge a phone in about an hour and a half, and I've got two outputs from the Qualcomm wall charger there that will allow me to charge more than one item at a time. Over to my cook system, there's the Zpacks dry bag for food bag. I have the 50 feet of paracord line inside, as well as the bear bag system that I can toss over a tree and with a carabiner and hang my food. I've got a little empty trash bag I carry with me. My cook system is basically I believe it's a 600 milliliter Snow Peaks titanium pot with a lid. I've got the Snow Peaks stove, as well as a small canister for fuel. I like drinking my coffee out of a foldable cup, so that's also, I think, a Sea to Summit. Then I've got a battery and a foldable spoon. I've got a bug net there in case bugs are bad. I don't think they'll be too bad at the end of September. Another extra bandana there, as well as some fluids and toothpaste and dental floss, needle and thread, some Band-Aids. It's kind of a mixture of a fluids kit. Nose spray in case I can't breathe at night. That wouldn't be good for trying to hike, Neosporin, stuff like that. I transfer a lot of stuff into really, really small tubes so it saves weight and space. Here's my toiletry kit, deuce of spades for digging a hole. I've got some wet wipes in there, as well as some regular toilet paper, and that seems to work out pretty well. This is all stuff I'll carry in one of my hip pockets. These are my aspirins and Tylenol and Tums and things like that I need sometimes for my stomach. Some caffeine pills in case for some reason I can't do coffee in the morning. I don't want to have a caffeine headache. A mirror in case I need to try to get some reflection going in the sunlight if I was to get hurt. A compass, some of the essentials, some Picardin and some DEET for bug control. I like to carry a little small iPad Nano with about 400 songs for getting up the hills and some morale boost. And then I have a little very lightweight wallet for holding a credit card and my driver's license and insurance card and so forth. Up here, before I get to the clothes, is my preferred trek poles, which are the Lecky Cristallo. I know that they've got the rubber handle on them, but I like a bigger handle. Some of the cork handles are smaller in diameter. They don't fit my hands as well. And I hike usually with Outdoor Research hiking gloves, the real lightweight fingerless gloves. I've got some Zero shoes for camp shoes. A cool Parajax 5.2 ounce raincoat. It doesn't have pit zips, but it's very, very much less expensive than the ones with the pit zips, and I have one for heavier duty, cooler climates. I've got a Columbia Eco Dry that's about twice the weight. So I brought this for this trip. Here's what I'm going to wear. I like capelline against my body, so that's a short sleeve Patagonia capelline top. The Columbia Silver Ridge, a long sleeve button down. That one's new, so I can't wait for it to not be white. So that would indicate that I've been out on the trail. Ex officio underwear, boxer briefs. I've got a pair of Reebok hiking shorts, running shorts that are very comfortable, have a couple of nice pockets in them. That's the gray ones right there. And then my system for my feet, I don't underestimate the importance of good foot care. So I've always used Injinji toe socks for liners. I like Wigwams or Darn Toughs or Lorpens for my outer sock. Got plenty of cushion, plenty of protection for my feet. I do use a copper fit sometimes for my right knee, the one that most recently had meniscus cartilage surgery a couple years ago. And then my Ultra Lone Peak 3.5s, I'm sorry, these are 3.0s. These are the last of my 3.0s. I didn't reorder a pair soon enough before they went out of supply, and then they went to 3.5s, which I have a couple pair of, and then 4.0s, which I haven't had to buy yet. Haven't decided. Probably I might take both of these hats. These are sentimental hats for me. My kids got me the Yeti Coolers hat, trucker hat, for my Father's Day present this year, and my wife got me the Kentucky hat to wear to represent. Both of them trucker hats with a mesh in the back for ventilation. Then I like the Casio Pro Trek 2500 for a watch that keeps an eye on barometric pressure and temperature and elevation and so forth. And then I've got just a paracord bracelet I wear with a easy to get to whistle. These are the extra socks and camp socks, extra underwear that I'll have packed for camp. I love the Goose Feet gear down footies. Very, very lightweight, packed down to nothing. And then I have a very lightweight 5-ounce pair of Smart Wool long underwear, a long sleeve capelline, and a short sleeve cotton tee just to have clean clothes to wear when I'm at the camp. For outerwear, I've got the 8-ounce Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. I've got a Mountain Hardwear set of liner gloves, very lightweight. I've got a buff and a beanie from Polar Tech here. And I'm holding the Joby Gorilla that I use for some shots on the trail and for a kind of a stabilizing way of holding my phone. And then the iPhone 8s. And that all comes to about 14 pounds of base weight, give or take. I might decide on a few different things. I might be up closer to 16 pounds if I take all the electronics. But it's a pretty lightweight setup, carries very well. Love Zpacks, love my feathered friends for this time of year. And I'm so glad I don't have to carry a bear canister. So that's what it looks like, all laid out on the bed. I'm gonna eat something and get plenty of rest tonight and tackle the approximately 62 miles on the Appalachian Trail, with some of the payoffs being Dragon's Tooth and McAfee Knob, and also Tinker's Cliffs, Kelly Knob. There's quite a few places that I'm going to see. I'm going to do a lot of hiking over pastures and up and down hills, and I think plenty of water. So it's a really good selection, I think, for a section hike on the Appalachian Trail, and I'm real excited about it. I'll be sharing quite a bit of video and photos with everybody at the end of the hike. So thanks for watching, and I hope everybody enjoys your time outdoors. I know I'm going to try to enjoy mine, and Lord willing, we'll all be able to watch each other's videos again soon.